Good day, everyone, and welcome to this presentation on an AI tool which we're calling the Annual Results Data Organizer. It's an AI assistant that will help you to create impactful results reports. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by, say, project data or the information you get from agencies, hopefully this tool can become your best friend. So imagine you had 59 pages of data, like in this case where I'm using the Gender Promotion Initiative, which is a PBF funded project in the Gambia and also happens to be a joint program. So I think that works well for annual reporting. Now, you would need to get all the information that you'd need, but not all of it would be relevant for you. So I'm going to show you how to use the tool to get it. First of all, though, let me just remind you that you might want to look through your data and see if there's any data that or information you might want to anonymize. In this case, we've gone through the data and basically use search words like email, name, in order to remove any emails and names that might be in the document which must not appear. The annual results data organizer does three things. First, it analyzes your project data automatically. Then it extracts 19 key data points, which is the data which you can then use to write a report. But it also does make sure that it aligns this or aligns your reporting or data collection with national and UN frameworks, as explained in your CFs. First tool, we'll use Google AI Studio for 3 reasons. Firstly, it is free. Secondly, it has a 1 million 1 million token context, which means basically that it can take very large documents. And thirdly, the Google Gemini 2.0 model is a reasoning model, which means that you get very good results. So now let's see how the tool actually works. I've got my tool already set up in my Google AI Studio, and this is what it looks like. On top here is the system instructions, which tells how it should work. It's a very long, it's about 22 pages of Microsoft Word. And that's because we also have our results framework in here so that it understands, and also parts of the CF, just to give it enough context. So what you want to do is either keep it at Gemini 2.0, which is the best because it is a thinking model, because of internet problems here, I'm going to use the 1.5 because the 2 keeps timing out, but it's nothing to do with the model itself. It's just the internet here in Gambia. So if you put Gemini 1.5, make sure it's at 1.5 Pro or 2, and then you press on the plus button. As I said, what we want to do is we want to load this report which we're going to use, which is the 59-page PBF progress report of a gender promotion initiative which the UN Gambia is engaged in. So you press and you upload the document. It will take a while for the document to upload, so just be patient. Well, faster if your internet is better. Right. Once the document is loaded, you will see this changes from gray to blue, and all you have to type in is meticulously follow your instructions. Follow your system instructions. If you're using Gemini 2 Flash Thinking Experimental, you would just stop there because it is a reasoning model. However, in this case, because of our internet challenges, using Gemini 1.5 Pro, which is not a reasoning model per se, so you have to then tell it to say, think step by step. So as you can see, it's gone through and identified that there's one story as in to talk about for all of this. You can hard code it and tell it that, no, I want you to maybe tease out 2, 3, 4 stories if you've read it. But it only makes sense that you want to have one report per project. So this is the output. It starts off by identifying the number of stories. This is just one. Then it does a story analysis. It takes a story and then links the story to the relevant strategic priority in the CF using the results framework. And then it also identifies the relevant outcome indicator. So that makes it easier for when you're writing the report to be able to link outcomes indicators with what you're doing. It then justifies why it chooses a story. Remember, there will be some data dumps where there will be many stories. After giving a justification, it then collects the 19 key points we're talking about, what is the reporting agency, which UN agencies were involved, was explaining its reasoning, which districts was this done, the initial situation, what the UN did, resulting quantitative change, which it picks up, and also the resulting qualitative change. After that, it also talks about the evidence and the explanation. So the 19 and the success factors. I won't go through all the 19, but as you can see, they include results for women and children, gender-related challenges, quotes, where the document has got quotes. So, from PBF documents, there will be quotes from stakeholders. And it also explains, say this and why. Then it does an assessment. So it looks at the available information. And based on that, it sort of like gives you a working draft of how you could probably write a story. And here it is, it writes, but then you see it also tells you where there are gaps. So it will say, for example, in this it says, CSOs, before the project started, CSOs often operated independently, and it talks about what the situation was. But then in square brackets, it then explains information that you need to follow up on, information that is needed. For example, in this case, more specific data on the initial situation, such as prevalence of GBV, women's presentations. And this then allows you to go back to the agency and find out from them this required information. It's used the code, and it goes on what information is needed, and then it gives a guidance report. Tells you the priority information that is needed. Critical is more specific data on the initial situation. Essential, more codes from beneficiaries. Enhancing, more detailed information on success factors, and also gathering strategies, how you can gather that information. Then what it does is it supposes you had all the data, tries to write you something, but it starts off with a note that says, this is a potential draft illustrating how the story could be developed with additional data. Fictional elements are added to demonstrate the desired detailed narrative. So it sort of like coaches you. And here it rewrites the same thing, but then it tells you the data which it has comments. So it will tell you this is fictional statistics, this is confirmed. That is how the first tool works. You would then take the output from this tool. So you would generally copy it and paste it into a Word document. And you do that for as many stories or data dumps that you have, and put them in one document. And then you use the second tool, which I'll show you, to then start writing a report. Thank you.